Hi everybody, it's Imogen and welcome back to Colouring Kid. It's that time of the month again where I'm doing my completed pages videos. They're my favourite videos. I just love watching them and making them. And yeah, we'll jump right in. I've got quite a few, but there's some other bits that I want to show you as well to do with what I've been doing this month. So as you know, I've been making more of a conscious effort to share the tags that I have done from colour-alongs on Instagram. And I really want to, acknowledge the people that have created the tags and the ones that I have done. Before I do, I just want to say as well that if you want to get the colouring crossword that I've created, go to my most recent video where I share my website that I created, and you can get the link to that absolutely free. It's just something to do in the isolation period. So, my book here, if we go to March, has all the tags and the ones I managed to complete, my completed pages and things like that. So I'm going to kind of go through the tags, and also I have started the colouring checklist challenge a bit early, but lots of people have, I think, so that's fine. And I've been highlighting off the ones I've done and putting the dates next to them. So I'll also be sharing that. And here I've written the page that I've done and all of the challenges that apply to that page. So there'll be a bit of kind of context to the pages, which I think is just a fun thing to add. So before I show you some of my pages, I do want to show you some of the reasons why I didn't get as many pages done. And that's because I was doing other things related to Mother's Day and just in general. So before Mother's Day, I had created this for my mum, and she watercoloured it and I drew it. So it was based on the drawings from Joanna Basford's House Drawinky Wonderlands, but I kind of put my own spin on it. So I followed the mushrooms as a separate thing, then I followed this flower as a separate one. I kind of adjusted this flower a bit. I followed an acorn, and then I just put whatever I wanted, really. And yeah, she really, really liked it. So what I decided to do, or what she kind of suggested, was that instead of me colouring my 12 postcards as I usually would for Mother's Day, and she opens one each month, I would draw her 12 and then she would open it each month and then watercolour it herself. So it's kind of a two-way thing, because I'm doing the drawing and she's doing the watercolouring, and then we can watercolour and colour together, and it's really nice. So that's kind of what inspired that. So she opened the April one a few days early on Mother's Day before it, just so that, she had a bit of a head start, but also she actually had one of them to open on Mother's Day, and it was this one. So this was a full tutorial that Joanna Basford had done, and I just enlarged it and copied it. So it's pretty much the same, and she used, I think it's the the Daler-Rowney paints, the watercolours. She had them when she was younger, and now I use them. And I really like how it came out. I think her watercolouring's great, and also it was quite a fun one to do, just because there was a lot of repetition and it wasn't too difficult. So that's the April one, and I can't remember exactly what this card is called. I'm not sure if I have it here. No, so I don't have it on me at the moment, but it is pretty thick and it takes watercolour well, so that's that. And also I coloured it, no I didn't, I painted it. So this was with gouache, and this was my mum's Mother's Day card, and I followed a tutorial by Shada Campbell, I think, and kind of again put my own spin on it. So yeah, and that was that as well. So there were a couple of things that I did that just were extra things that made the month quite busy. So that's kind of why I didn't have as much time to colour. I've just realised I need to put the background card on here. There we go. Belinda, there we go. Okay, that should be fine, I think. Pretty much covers it. I need to get a permanent big bit of card, but as you know at the moment with not being able to go to shops, that's proving quite difficult. So now I'll actually move on to the pages that I did. So we'll start with this one, because this is pretty much the first page that I did for the month. So this is from Mermaids in Paradise by Denise Klett, and I really like doing mixed media stuff in this book. Not necessarily, I use marker quite a lot, but also I actually use ink. So this was a bit of a mess, just because of the amount of layers I did and the amount of times it didn't work. Sorry, I need to push this down. So this is the picture that I did, and I did post it up on my community tab. The glitter and stuff doesn't show up that well on the pictures though, so it's kind of nice, you know, still doing the videos and stuff like that. So if you can see from the background, it's quite dark, but also it's not completely opaque. And what I had to do for this was, I had originally done marker. You can see on the back there, the ink doesn't bleed through, which is great, but if you can see the marker there, it was very streaky because it was running out, and I didn't even manage to do all of it. I went over with a light turquoise one here, and then that ran out, and so I was going over with a darker one, and the colours were just very different and it looked awful. So I decided to just go over with my Winsor & Newton ink, because I thought that's just the best thing to do, because it will hopefully cover it, and it did for the most part, and you know, I'm fairly happy with it now. It's kind of just a fun book to just experiment anyway. The tail is all clear. It's not the Wink of Stella, it's the Spectrum Noir one. And then I went over with white Posca on the lines just to white it out, and then I went over everything with my Pentel Hybrid Dual Metallic pens. And then for the hair and the actual mermaid and the fish down here, I used Copic markers. So the marker that I used for the background wasn't a Copic marker, because I didn't want to waste a whole marker on the background. But I found these packs for £9 each at TK Maxx. I did mention it on my video. No, not on my video, sorry, my community tab. And so I did just use these two sets that I got. So they were £9 each. Some of the colours are missing, so I'm using them for something else. So let me just grab them for you. So the first set on the left has 6 primary colours. So it had these 4, plus the green and the purple. And then the other set was a skin set, which actually has a lilac colour, another pinkish colour, 2 browns, and a really nice kind of shell colour, and also 2 fine liners in brown and grey. So it was a great deal. I couldn't believe it when I saw them, and I thought I have got to get these, because as you know, Copics I think here are probably about £5 or £6 per pen. So, you know, £9 for 11 pens and 2 fine liners is amazing. They might not have them at your TK Maxx, it really depends. TK Maxx is just one of those places that changes their stock all the time, so it really depends. But if you see a deal like that, you know, absolutely go for it, because it's a great deal. So yeah, that's that page, and I tried to blend with the marker, and it worked out okay, but for first try I'm really happy with it. So that's that one. Then we have Wishes and Wings and Wondrous Things by Corey Dantini. Now Lisa actually sent this to me for Happy Mail, which was so lovely of her. I did show it in a live stream, but I think that bit of the live stream was cut because it wasn't really working, so I think it's deleted. But I've done a page in this, and also I'm working on a whip, which is why I had those markers out. So I'll show you the whip first. So it's this one, and for this I am using some of my Copic markers, but I'm also using these, which are the Bic marking markers. So they have a tip like that, which is fairly strong. And yeah, I forgot to show you, sorry, the Copic. So these are the Copic Chow, and they have the chisel tip on one side, or it's called medium broad actually, and then it has the amazing brush tip. So that's double-ended, whereas these Bic ones are just single-ended. But the points stay fairly strong for a while, but for this I was using a mixture of the two. I was just having fun, just laying down some colour. This book is amazing, and I've decided to kind of use markers, and I might use pencil here and there, but it's just a lovely book. So I was experimenting with a bit of blending on this bit, just a little bit, but most of it's just straight colour, and I just need to finish doing the leaves and the butterflies, and then I'll go over with glitter gel pens. So that's the one I'm working on at the moment, and I was actually doing this yesterday, I think, so it will be in my April completed pages because I haven't finished it yet. And then the other page that I did was this one, and I picked this one mainly because obviously because I like music and stuff, it kind of spoke to me, but also I just thought it was a really lovely picture as well. So this one I did when I was watching Jaws on Sunday with the Cozy Colouring movie night, and this was all Copic and Bic markers again, and then I went over with various glitter Jelly Roll pens and Hybrid Dual Metallic pens, and yeah, that's what it turned out like. So they're very glittery, and there was no shading on this at all, so I could actually put this page down for one of my colouring checklist challenge. Sorry, I completely forgot to tell you about the mermaid page. So the mermaid page in Mermaids in Paradise counts for the Blue Mermaid Colour Along by Nirma Colouring, because I did blue hair, and then this page counts towards the colouring checklist challenge, if I find it here, because it's colour a page with no shading, just straight colouring, which is what I did, and colour a new to artist, and again new because it was a brand new book, and colour a page from the last book you purchased. Technically I didn't purchase it, but Lisa did, so I'm still counting that because it was still the newest in my collection. And yeah, and then, sorry, again, I forgot to mention the Mermaids in Paradise one. The challenge completed was colouring a page with a mermaid. So I've done quite a few challenges for those, which is great. So, yeah, that's pretty much it for this one. And I really enjoyed just watching Jaws and colouring this in. And I'll definitely be doing more in this book. I'm finishing that whip up because it's gorgeous. Okay, next book we have is Fantastic Zoo by Kemi Chidu, and in this I did a buddy colour with Kate from Kate's Colouring Haven, and this page counted for colouring a page with a buddy and colouring a page from a book by a male artist. And I don't think there was anything else. No, don't think so. So this one, if I can find it, was the owl page, and I absolutely love how Kate's turned out. She used really bright colours and it was gorgeous. I kind of stuck to the, I guess you'd say, kind of boring colours that a normal owl is, but I'm just kind of doing mine, trying to keep them semi-realistic for what they would look like in real life. So this was all done with Prismacolor pencils, yep, all Prismacolor, and white Jelly Roll and pastel in the background, so there were some chalk pastels, and yeah, that's pretty much it. I think maybe there were a couple of, oh well, I had my normal colour palette of pencils that I always use for Fantastic Zoo, but yeah, that's that one. And Kate didn't mind what colour, sorry, I can't speak, what page we did, so I picked this one because I know how much she loves owls. So yeah, I really enjoyed doing this one, and you know, slowly filling up my book, which is great. Okay, next one we have is from Botanical Wonderland, and this is by Rachel Reinert, and the page I completed in here was actually a page that I picked a colour palette for, so it was this one. So this one, oh, it's falling down. This one I actually used a Cath Kidston print, on my pencil case, and I absolutely love this. It was gorgeous, and I decided to replicate these colours in a picture. So some of the colours are slightly different, they're pretty much there, but the pink, as you can see, I use quite a lot because primarily this is just background, and then I used most, in fact no, I used all of the colours that were on there as well, so I'll kind of do a close-up for you. I put lots and lots of glitter on this because I thought it just needed glitter, so I used my Tan Mitt gel pens and some metallic gold gel pen as well, and I used all Prismacolor pencil for this. As I was mentioning in my stream, I think this was the only paper that I had found a bit of trouble with the wax bloom, because it was just really weird when I was kind of smearing it. I was burnishing it, but when I was smearing off, it was kind of staying there, and I had to keep rubbing it out, and some of it's faintly there, you can't really see it, but yeah, it was a bit of a shame, but it doesn't really matter. But yeah, I really like how this one turned out, and it was fairly quick to do. Once I'd picked my colours, that was the main bit really, and I just love her illustrations, and again I'm slowly filling up this one, which is great, so hopefully it will be done at some point in the future, but it's a very thick book, and I don't have her Desert Wonderland one, but I'm kind of focusing on this one for now, and then hopefully she might come out with some other stuff as well, so that would be great. Whilst they're here, actually, I might just show you the gel pens in case you haven't seen them, because this is a 96 set because you get 48 refills, and it comes in this great case. It's really durable, and they're all here, and they're really lovely, and I got these from Auntie Lynn and Uncle Jim, who are my mum's friends, and you've probably heard me talk about them a few times. So they're all glittery, and there are even some neon glittery ones as well, and they're great. Sorry for the loud noises there, but yeah, they're great, and I absolutely love them. And I don't have to worry when they run out because I've got spares, so that's great. Okay, penultimate book is Fairy Celebrations. Oh no, did I forget to mention something? I should really just write them down on post-it notes. That would be a lot easier, I think. So this page counted for a lot of things. So we have colour a double page spread, colour a page from a book by a female artist, colour a page with food, colour a page with minimum of 2 people on the page, colour a bokeh background, and colour a set of wings, bugs, butterflies or fairies. So that's quite a lot for the colouring checklist challenge. And also, I'm pretty sure, so one of the tags that I did for this one was Munchies in March 2020, hosted by Effie Colours, and that was colouring a page with sweets or food. This was a page with flowers, which was the Flowers Colour Along by Mangio Libri, and yeah, so the first page, which you will have seen if you've seen my community tab, and if you haven't, just change the settings so that when a tab on the feed of the subscribers, the videos and posts come through instead of just videos. So this was the double page spread that I did. It took me a while. I was getting slightly worried because it was more than halfway through the month, as you all know, because I did a live stream and I hadn't done very much, and I was worried that I wouldn't get it done, but then I really knuckled down and did it, and now, yeah, I'm really happy with it. So this is the second main page that I've done in this book. I mean, I kind of count it as 2 pages because that's just how I do double page spreads. So technically I've completed 3 pages in it, but it was a very time consuming page, but double page spreads are always like that, and I absolutely love how it turned out. So mainly for this page I was testing out just using Faber-Castell pencils. I did use other pencils here and there, which I will kind of show you. The background and all of the wood and the ice cream and the pomegranates, mainly everything was Faber-Castell pencils. Some of them I made sure to use, actually, all of the new pencils that Susan sent me. So in one of the sets there were some new colours, and I made sure to use all of them. And apart from that, I used my classic pencils and Eco pencils and Faber-Castell Polychromos. So there was a mix of kind of all my Faber-Castell brands, brand of pencils. And then, yeah, I used some Holbein, so the purple here was Holbein, and I used a couple of Prismacolors as well. But yeah, as I said, most of it was oil pencils, and I'm really, really happy with it. You know, it did take a while, but I really, really don't mind because I had such fun doing it. So once I had completed I did do a bokeh background, if you can see there, which again took me a while. The background was very time consuming. And sorry, yeah, the flowers were Holbein as well because that was the purple. Once I'd finished all the actual colouring, I then went over with my Tanmik glitter gel pens, my Jelly Roll glitter gel pens, some Silver Signo on the string things. Then there's some of my Spectrum Noir shiny pen thing that I can't speak. The equivalent of the Wink of Stella pen. What else have I missed? Some Pencil Hybrid Dual Metallic, some clear glitter Jelly Roll, and then some Posca, some pastel Posca. I just throw everything on these, so it's so hard remembering everything that I use. And then on this butterfly, I coloured it, but the purple bit on the outside was actually some fine liners that, again, Susan had got me, so I wanted to make use of those as well. And actually, throughout the page, I was using these. So I went over in some places with the greens, but these are the Stabilo and the Staedtler pastel fine liners, and actually I like them both equally. They're great, and all of the colours are different apart from the turquoise, which is very, very similar. But actually in the middles of some of the flowers and just generally I was using these quite a bit, and they're lovely and they didn't bleed through either. So I went around all the outside of that purple with the Staedtler purple, and then went over with the Jelly Roll glaze just to kind of give a bit of a different texture on it, because it was a butterfly as well. And yeah, I think that's pretty much it. I could go on and on explaining stuff about this because it did take a long time, and I really do think that it is worth taking your time with double page spreads, especially because when they're big scenes like this, they are, you know, they are amazing, and you kind of want to do them justice. And I think it turned out okay. I am pleased with it, and I look forward to doing more double page spreads now that I know that I can actually do them. And I have done lots in the past, but I haven't really lengthened them out to this extent because I pretty much started this, I think, even before March. I can't even remember now. Got it here. Oh, I started it right at the beginning of March and then completed. It was for about 3 weeks that I was working on it, but I was really, really happy that I did get it done. So that's that one, and I'm really happy with that. And then the whip that I'm working on is something that I was working on during my live stream, and it's this scene, and for this I'm actually going to be doing a colour and chat for, well, maybe not a colour and chat, it might be more of a tutorial for the curtain because I was asked to do that. And for the background, I actually searched up vintage wallpapers and kind of went with that colour scheme because I knew I wanted the bath water to be pink, like this. I kind of imagine these flowers as kind of sakura flowers, that cherry blossom kind of. So I did the same kind of rose flowers in the background, made use of the same sorts of colours. The background for the outside bit I did dark because obviously there's a bat here, so it would be nighttime, I imagine. The wood, I used a couple of different brown colours, and you can actually see how I did that on the live stream because for this page I'm aiming just to use Holbein pencils. So there are some browns that I would always gravitate towards in certain sets, just because I always use them. But I didn't do that. I stuck with the ones I had and blended them, and I'm really happy with how this wood turned out. I have got it written down somewhere, so if you do want to know, I can find that for you. I'm planning on doing the same brown colour then for the background here, because that's all brown for the wood. The bathtub, I already knew what colour I wanted that to be, because I love some of the pastel, not some of the pastel colours, all of them in the Holbein. So I used, I think, 3 different colours for that. And yeah, this one, again, I'm kind of taking slowly. I'm not really worrying about rushing through it, because I love Clara's work. It's just gorgeous. And for these bottles, I've actually gone over the outlines in a white gel pen, and then in the inside of it, I went over with some watered down white ink, just to make the kind of dilute down the colour and make it seem more like a glass bottle. And then I'm planning on going over with a Jelly Roll glaze. Not really sure how it's going to work, but you know, I'm not really good at doing a glass, so we'll see how that goes. And again, once I've coloured the candle and everything here, I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to go over with ink and Jelly Roll glaze and hope that it turns out okay. So that's that one that I'm currently working on, and that's Fairy Celebrations by Clara Markova, and I absolutely love it. And then finally we have the Flower Year, and let me find this. So the page that I've completed, in fact I've completed 2 pages in here, and I'm working on another that I've just kind of started, but the one that counted for the Colouring Checklist Challenge was my March page, because it was colour a page of blooms/flowers and colour a page representing a season. March is spring, so that counted. And then this went towards the flowers colour along again, colour a page with flowers. And all of the stuff that I had done for my mum counted for the Mother's Day colour along by Crayoniverse. But to me, flowers and March and stuff represent Mother's Day to me as well. So the page that I did was, oh no, that's not right, this one. So the March page, and this was mainly just loads and loads of different pencils really for the whole thing. But I did use some Faber-Castell pencils, Prismacolor, Holbein, and then for the dandelions it was all Holbein, I think. And then these flowers here were actually a couple of Faber-Castell pencils, and then one of my Derwent artist pencils, and then other Faber-Castell pencils. Really it was just a mixture of loads of different ones, and I really like how it turned out. And I think I've got 2 more of these pages to do. I've got the April and the May one. So yeah, I was really happy with this. And again, with this I was kind of getting to the end of the month already, because I only completed this, when was it? Let me see. The Flower Year March, so I completed it on the 26th of March. I was kind of getting worried because I want that goal to complete 2 pages from this book a month, you know, in some hope of actually finishing it in the future. So I was kind of looking for something to do, and then on my stream that I did on Sunday, I just decided to do this one. So you saw how I did this, and I showed all the colours that I used. If you want to see how I did these, you can see. So this colour palette in terms of the yellows would work for loads of different yellow flowers. So it would work for daffodils actually, and dandelions, sunflowers, things like that. So you can really take it and do anything with it really. So I used Holbein for all of this. These are lesser celandines, and yeah, I'm especially happy with how the leaves came out, and I kept that colour palette safe because I want to make sure that I don't forget it. And yeah, I didn't use any blending pencils. I just used a cotton bud to blend the leaves together. And then this page is my whip at the moment, so the April page is so detailed. It's the most detailed one, and to be honest, this might be the only one that I get done in April. It's just so detailed. I love it though, it's so gorgeous. But I've just done the rabbit, and I used Holbein for that as well. So I just started doing that yesterday, just for a bit of fun. And yeah, that's pretty much it, I think. So I really hope you've enjoyed watching this video. As I said, these are my favourite videos to watch, and you know, they're just so great to make. I've got a couple of other videos I need to get done, which will hopefully be up fairly soon. But now I've got more time with, you know, doing all my work in the morning and then having more time in the afternoon. Hopefully I'll have a bit more time to do videos, which will be great. So yeah, I hope you've enjoyed this video. Again, I'll hopefully keep posting on my community tab, on my blog, on my new website, and yeah, I will see you on my next video. So I hope you enjoyed it. Bye everyone.